Perfect. Just like a warning or caution here. If you've been following along and you did not see all those super awesome recipe IDs, you just saw recipes slash ingredients. That's because you're missing the recipe model. So Flask Commands is trying to be smart for you and go check your models file to see what models you have before it starts tacking in a whole bunch of IDs. Um, and then I said, we don't want this like recipe ingredient model, and I guess I kind of forgot what we the so the when you put the -m flag in, what it does is it goes back to the takes off the controller part and then goes back and looks at the very last kind of can't hump in the camel case and sees if you have that model or not. And if it doesn't, if you don't have that model, then it creates that model for you. So if you let me just I started a very blank one just so you can see this like oops or gotcha kind of part, and then we'll go back and make it the way it should be. So here's a hello world, um, nothing changed, very plain clean application with just the mains that you get out of the box. Users, no models. So you can see routes is just super simple under mains. Templates, I've got like nothing. So basically just wiped out everything that we had before. Here is, let's go in here. Let's say that we did this. So we're going to do Flask make controller, recipe controller. And we're not going to do the -m. We're just going to kind of forget the -m so that we can see what happens here. Um, so and we'll do the CRUD, minus CRUD, but we'll leave this off. And then so that we can do this next command with um, the minus, the CRUD and the -m, and you'll see it'll say, oh, you don't have a recipes model, so you must not want all these IDs in there. If you do want the IDs in there, then when you ran the recipe controller, um, you would want to make sure you put the generator flag of -m in. Okay, so let's run this. Seeing is believing. All right, so we get our recipes. We're super happy. We have the recipe IDs, but we do not have a recipe model. And then this is just part of like the trade-off of flexibility kind of thing. Okay, so now I'm going to clear this and let's do recipe ingredient controller. Let's just make sure I spell that right. Ingredient controller. Okay, and let's put the -m on it just to see what happens here. So we'll have it generate. If you were like at all cautious and you didn't want to do that and you wanted to make sure you got exactly what you wanted, that's why you have the model option. Okay, so let's run this, and we should end up with an ingredient model, but not a recipe model. Okay, so model, we do have the ingredient model and the recipe controller. The recipe ingredient controller is here. And notice we're missing all the recipe IDs. So it was just kind of like a word of caution. The functionality is there for you. You just have to be, with you just have to be cautious basically on how you run these commands. If you didn't get what you wanted, it was because you didn't have the component that you needed before. You didn't have the recipe model. And if you put the recipe model in and run this, life will be just fine. You'll get exactly what you want. Um, can Yeah. So we will wrap it up here and we'll finally go look at make model in the next video.